Hi, Coach. It seemed like you were really, matching South Carolina shot for shot in the first quarter. They had Cardoso, and just, where outside of that did the game kind of get away?
I think they're a really good team, and the thing that makes them different this year to me is their ability to shoot the ball. So I don't generally talk about with our team what we don't have. Obviously, Cardoso has a lot more size than most people in the country, and she's been great for them this year. But I did think we tried to match her physicality. I thought where we went wrong, we missed some rotations defensively, where usually we're pretty good. We missed some cutters. We lost some cutters in our zone, and they made us pay for it. A lot of times you miss, one or two, and they'll get an open three, not South Carolina, but the other team, and they'll miss it. And, it's kind of like a turnover. Not today. They in the big moments where we needed them to miss a shot or we needed to lock up on defense, they made it. And they made them in bunches where it felt like, hey, we were right there, and then we were down 8. And then we closed a little bit, and then we're down 11. But that's a sign of a really well-coached veteran in terms of, experience team. I know they're new. A lot of them are new, but you can tell that they're on a mission. I was proud of my team today for how they fought, though. I thought we really did match their intensity for most of the game, and that's what we talked about doing coming in here. We're just trying to lay the foundation so that we can be competitive in any game we play. And I thought for the most part today we were. Oh, okay.
Shea, it seemed like you guys did an especially good job on making their outside shots a little bit more difficult than for them, especially with their guards. Was that part of the game plan coming in, and how well do you think that your team affected that?
Yeah. Yes, I think for me and everybody's different. I do love, we game plan, we do prepare, but it's more, we have to play this way every game. So we knew that they're the best three-point shooting team in the country. And we knew that when they caught the ball, we needed to have, not our hands up, but our hands literally in their mouth. It has to be as close as possible to make it as tough of a shot as they can get. And then if they don't take it and they go to their next option, then that's a small victory for us. Don't give them their first or second option. That's something we talk about defensively every game, every practice. What I want my team to learn is if we can be the best at what we do, then we don't have to change game to game depending on who we play. And you guys know, those of you that have covered South Carolina, when you get into March, then you're playing a great team every single day, and it's really who executes and who's the best version of themselves that day. And so I want my team to learn what that feels like and looks like. Then we did a pretty good job, but again, they're tough. They made some great shots. They're a tough team. They're number one for a reason. Yeah.
So first time I think it's first time all year, back-to-back losses.
Yes.
How do you think your team will respond to that because they haven't been through it before?
Oh, most of us have been through it. We've been through it. We have. I think it would be different if I felt like today we lost. So yes, this goes in the loss column for us. I know what that means. I know the definition. But I felt like they had to beat us today. And that to me is different. So there have been a couple games, one game in particular that we lost this year that I did feel like we weren't even close to the best team that we could be that day. And then against NC State, I felt like we were for half the game. But today, for the majority, I would say for about 30 minutes, we played as tough as we could. And to me, that's growth. And that's how I have to look at it. Yes, I don't like to lose, and that's is clear, I think. But I do think that we have to look at, are we growing? Are we learning from the mistakes that we're making and the losses that we've had this year? Is that happening for us? And then if it is, then that's what we have to focus on, because we turn around and play another big game on Thursday. So, yeah, we'll talk about some things that we just we can't do that if we're going to win big games. But we also have to acknowledge the fact that today I thought they had to beat us.
Coach, just kind of looking at the box score, it looks like Jordan Cambridge played a lot, and as well as Iana Moore both played heavy minutes. Was that something you kind of expected heading into the game, or as you kind of noticed it was close, did you say, hey, we're going to have to ride these players till the end?
Oh, no, I can't take them off the floor, and they know it. Yeah, they play like that just about every game. Depending on how the game is going, I'll try to get them a minute here or there. But they're the two kids, and if I take them out, usually they get pissed at me. They don't want to come out. And they prepare like that every day in practice. But as much as it helps our team to have them on the floor, and that's important, I also want them to play in these games and to play these minutes. Because when we go, again, I look right now today, but I also look down the stretch. And when we get to the SEC tournament and we have, I don't know how many games in a row we're going to play, I need them to be willing and ready to do that if we're going to do the things that we can do. They know that. The team knows that. So we make sure that we kind of cater practice towards helping them feel ready and prepared mentally and physical for that.
We're coming up on National Girls and Women's Sports Day, and it's a nice day on the calendar to mark it, but the SEC specifically just kicks butt when it comes to women's attendance and the support for women's sports. We just saw the LSU South Carolina game, obviously, and its huge ratings and atmosphere. You get to play here every year and see that atmosphere. So what can you say about how Dawn Staley, how South Carolina, and how the SEC are really leading the way in that charge? Because I know it's super cool to see as a woman in sports.
It really is. I really appreciate that question. I was telling my staff earlier today, I have so much respect for Dawn. And I remember when she played at Virginia. I'm not a whole lot younger than she is, so I don't want that to sound like, when I was little, I watched her, but I watched her play because the ACC tournament was in my city in North Carolina. There's nothing else in my city but this huge convention center, and they would come there and play. And I just, from a young age, just really respected her approach to basketball. She was representation for me, like, hey, I can do this on a big stage. And now you see her doing the things she's doing at South Carolina. We're talking about, when did she get this job? Look at what it is now. There's 18,000 people in the fans. How amazing is that? And again, representation matters. She's a representation, as is her team and her program, of what you can accomplish if you work really hard, if you do the right things. I mean, even before the game, she shook everyone's hand on our bench. Even the people behind the bench, she made an effort. There hasn't been anybody in the country that's texted me more than her on, days where I just am like, I don't know, our team is really struggling the last couple of years. And when I see her in meetings, when I see her before games, she'll reach out. That matters to me, but think about what she's doing here for her own players. And you can see it. And then the community that's rallied around her, you can see it, you can feel it. And now my daughter's here today. And she's like, Mommy, I want to play for the Cockadoodles. I'm like, no, baby, first of all, you're not going to play for them. You're going to play for the Commodores. But she's seeing what is possible. And so when you talk about a day where we can celebrate that, I think Dawn has defined what is possible in our sport, both as a player and a coach. I'm lucky to be a colleague. I'm grateful to compete against her because she's a competitor. But more than anything, I'm thankful for her leadership, because even as a competitor, she's been somebody that's truly helped me in my position as we try to do some special things ourselves at Vanderbilt.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Thank you.